الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين سيدنا ونبينا ومولانا محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين وبعد السلام عليكم ورحمة الله تعالى وبركاته. Beloved brothers and sisters, we praise Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and salutations on our beloved Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Last week in our fiqh, we were looking at the wajibat of the ghusl, that which has to be done in the ghusl. And we remember, inshallah, that two things are fundamental with the ghusl. Can anyone recall, inshallah? Niyyah, mashallah, you must have the niyyah. And the second requirement with the ghusl, water must reach every part of the body. So this evening, alhamdulillah, we look at the sunnah acts of the ghusl, the sunnah acts, the recommendations of the ritual bath, inshallah. And I'm just going to share 5 with you this evening. The first, to begin in the name of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the basmala. And so there's a very interesting fiqh discussion on when does one recite the basmala. Because if you are in a toilet, a bathroom / toilet, can you recite Allah's name in a toilet? What is the fiqh ruling on that? No. So we can't recite Allah's name in a toilet, a place where we relieve ourselves. And then additionally, if you are going to perform your ghusl, of course you are going to be naked, all your clothing will be off. Is it befitting to mention Allah's name in that state? No, also. So then when do you make this basmala? That's a good question. Sort of similar to the fiqh mas'ala, if a married couple is going to be intimate, at what stage do they make the dua? Similar issues at play. So the basmala will be recited, of course, prior to the ghusl, and if one is unable to say it aloud without articulating it, then of course it is in the heart, in the mind and heart. So if one is completely naked, you won't say Allah's name in that state. You won't say in a shower, completely naked, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. That is unbecoming and disrespectful to Allah's name, Allah's names. So if that is the scenario, it must be said in your heart, basically. If you are still clothed and you are not by a toilet, and you now, of course, going to perform the ghusl, you can recite it at that stage. If you are clothed and not by a toilet. Secondly, you remove any dirt or impurity on the body. This is sunnah. Before the ghusl, perhaps if you are dirty, there's visible dirt, you remove that from the body before the ghusl. To perform wudu, as the wudu that is going to be performed for salah. And here's a very interesting point, particularly within the Shafi'i madhab as well. We know that when you perform the ghusl, you should perform a wudu. When is the wudu more preferred? When the ghusl is sunnah. So if you're performing hypothetically the ghusl on a Friday, which is sunnah, Jumu'ah, and you're going to perform wudu, that wudu is really needed for your salah. So that wudu should follow that sunnah ghusl. If it is a fard ghusl, that puts you into a state of purity. And so that wudu is still recommended, but not as important as the wudu in your sunnah ghusl. Then to pour water over the head 3 times, intending to remove a major hadath, a ritual impurity, or your hayd. So to pour water over the head 3 times, to pour water over the right side of the body 3 times, and then the left side 3 times. Now you'll see in the fiqh here, we are talking about pouring water, but practically today most people use showers. So it is then to let the shower fall on the right side of your body first, 3 times, and to let it fall on your left side 3 times. So I was asked, mashallah, by an elderly Haji, for the 3 times do I step in and out of the shower? How do I count it? So previously the Khalifa said to be sure it is 3 times, you step in and out. But the fuqaha today say that because of the nature of water, if you know you are standing under the shower and that water hits the top of your head, body and goes down, and you know, okay, you can calculate it has gone down, you just need to count at minimum 3 times. So it's not necessary to step in and out. It's not a requirement for this reward of tathalluth, doing it 3 times. So what we conclude from this, my beloved brothers and sisters, of the sunnah actions, we once again find 2 things prevailing: tayammun and tathalluth. Tayammun means to use the right part of your body first, similar to your wudu. The right limb is washed first before the left limb, and tathalluth, to do it thrice. And so similarly, someone has asked me, should you perform the ghusl thrice? So of course the tathalluth applies within the ghusl, but not repeating the entire ghusl. Okay. And also we are considerate of water restrictions. If you are in a place where there's limited water, then we wouldn't, we would look at what is the necessity, inshallah. And this concludes our study of ghusl. Next week, inshallah, we move over to wudu. Any questions, inshallah? So we are familiar with the types of ghusl. We're familiar with the niyyah. We're familiar with what are the requirements for the ghusl. And we are familiar also with the sunnah actions of the ghusl, inshallah. And as I close, we just reflect on the importance of that niyyah. That niyyah is very important. That when we make the niyyah, we must be clear on, of course, why we are performing this ghusl, whether it is fard or sunnah. Okay? Yes. Very good question. The question is, must the niyyah be recited with every part of the body that is washed? No, only one niyyah, of course, before the commencement of the washing, before the water hits the first limb. The niyyah is made at that stage, before the basmala, before Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. So if one is walking to the bathroom, remember the minute you took the decision in your mind, in your heart, I'm now going to take a ghusl, and you walked, you took your first step, that was your niyyah. Not when you're actually in the shower. So your Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim, because the niyyah had been made, it can be recited after the point of the niyyah, inshallah. Okay? And then just to quiz, because this is a good question, so can we just dive in the sea and then come out and have ghusl? Is it possible? With a niyyah, technically yes. If there's a niyyah for ghusl, for the Shafi'i the niyyah needs to be there. For the Ahnaf they don't need niyyah, they need outcome. So if everything was washed, then in the Hanafi madhab the ghusl is in place. For the Shafi'i, you must intend that you are going to, of course, perform a ghusl, then the ghusl is intact. But of course, within that scenario, tathalluth and tayammun is very difficult because water is everywhere. Okay. I think those who want to dive 3 times is enjoying it, alhamdulillah. So diving 3, that would be a fallacy, inshallah. Jazakallah khairan. Wa sallallahu wa sallam rabbil alameen. No, because one is inappropriate yet.